Anxiety and depression are probably the two greatest mental challenges of our modern times. In this video, I'm going to give you a brief introduction to a series of articles on roXiva.com called the Anxiety Relief Series. Now, please do read the articles. There's a lot of really good information in there, including some proven and effective strategies and techniques for dealing with anxiety and stress, in some cases permanently. What I'm going to do in this video is just share with you a couple of interesting things that I found while researching this topic, and then at the end of the video I'm going to show you a very easy to use technique that you can use anywhere, anytime, to literally change your state in a matter of seconds and reduce or eliminate anxiety and stress. So let me just show you a couple of things here that are quite interesting. So this first graph here shows anxiety disorders and the subcategories of anxiety disorders and how much of the total population that suffer from anxiety have that specific type of subcategory. Now, as you can see here, the two greatest proportions here of the graph that make up almost 3/4 of the total number of anxiety disorders consist of generalized anxiety disorder and mixed anxiety and depression. Now, why that's interesting is that if we have a look at this next graph here, this is a graph of the number of people visiting, I believe, over the period of a month, an anxiety clinic and what they visited the clinic for. Now, unlike the previous graph that showed that 3/4 of the population who suffer from anxiety do so in the subcategories of generalized anxiety and mixed anxiety and depression, as you can see here, the number of people visiting the clinic for those particular disorders is minimal. Now, what does this tell us? It tells us that the majority of people who suffer from anxiety just simply aren't asking for help, which is a little bit sad and also quite disappointing. And in fact, if you look at this next graph here, this again shows people asking for help with anxiety. As you can see, it's grouped in age groups here, so as people get older, things like career, mortgages, that sort of thing cause a little bit more anxiety and stress, and then as they get older, still towards retirement, the anxiety drops off. Now, I would like to point out here that I believe this particular piece here, 14 years and under, is underrepresented on this graph. I suspect from research and articles that I've seen that more people than that under the 14-year age group suffer from anxiety and stress these days. But what's even more interesting about this particular graph is the difference between men and women. So this is men here and this is women here. So as you can see, it's about twice the amount of women asking for help with anxiety as men. Now, does this mean that women suffer from anxiety twice as much as men? Maybe. It's possible. What's just as likely, however, is that less men are asking for help. Again, it's a case of how men are brought up, that toughen up, get over it, don't be a wuss kind of attitude. Again, slightly disappointing and sad to see that sort of thing. Now, is anxiety therefore something that should be avoided altogether? Absolutely not. This is a peak performance graph. And as you can see up here, there's a sweet spot where just the right amount of anxiety is present in order to get into that flow state and have maximum performance. Not enough anxiety and you're too relaxed and chilled out and you're not motivated and don't get anything done. Obviously too much anxiety and you're distracted by the anxiety itself and can't focus and do anything about it. So what's the solution? Now, obviously, if you suffer from anxiety, the first step always is to get medical advice and attention from your doctor. There are, of course, however, plenty of non-pharmacological drug type options that you can explore. All sorts of things, so including, for instance, CBD oil, which is getting a lot of attention lately. Human trials with CBD oil are ongoing, but laboratory tests in controlled conditions using mice actually show that CBD oil is incredibly effective at reducing anxiety in a lot of cases. Just like this mouse. It's before CBD oil treatment, and that's after CBD oil treatment. Same mouse. Honest. So I said at the beginning of the video I'd teach you a very easy to use technique, and here it is. It's to do with breathing. Now, as you can see from this graph here, there are correct ways and incorrect ways of breathing. The first thing to note here is that the correct way of breathing, particularly if you want to reduce anxiety and stress, is to breathe into the belly or abdomen rather than the chest. Now this has the effect of activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and recovery state. Whereas if you breathe high up into the chest, you're more likely to activate the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight kind of response. The other thing to notice here is that exhaling through the nose is more beneficial than the mouth. So the correct way to breathe in general, for general health in fact, and I won't get into all the details as to why, is in and out through the nose as much as possible. Of course, in some cases you'll have to breathe through the mouth, particularly if you're exercising and trying to get enough oxygen in. So in and out through the nose and in and out into the belly or abdomen. Now the second part of this is the timing of the breathing. Now the technique that I'm about to give you is very easy to use. You can use anytime, anywhere, and it is simply this: extend the exhale. So what I mean by that is breathe out longer than you breathe in. So if, for instance, you breathe in for a count of 4 seconds, you would then breathe out for a count of maybe 6 seconds or 8 seconds. I prefer breathing in for 4 and out for 8. That works well for me. Now again, what this does is it activates the parasympathetic nervous system on your out breath. When you breathe in, you're activating the sympathetic nervous system, which is that fight or flight response. When you breathe out, you're activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and relax, or rest and digest as it's sometimes called, state. So by extending the exhale, you're tipping the balance into the parasympathetic and therefore calming down your nervous system quite quickly and efficiently. So we're going to do that together now, just for a short period of time, so you can see what that's like. And I want you to actually physically do this and notice how differently you feel at the end of it. So let me just go through into here, and I'll show you a little visual here that'll help you to go along with my count. So let's go into this screen here and restart this. So get ready to breathe in through the nose, remember, in and out through the nose. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once more, in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now as you can see, this is really easy. You can do it anywhere, anytime. I prefer to, this particular setup is a 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. I personally prefer 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out, but whatever's comfortable for you, you can actually extend the exhale for as long as you like. So do remember this. Again, do please read the articles, a lot of really good information in there. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe to this channel. There's going to be plenty more videos coming with little interesting bits of information for you. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.